Hello students, in the last class I explained Bernoulli's theorem. So today in this class I will explain some application of Bernoulli's principle. Before that we got expression for Bernoulli's principle. This is only pressure energy P plus pressure energy per unit volume plus kinetic energy per unit volume of rho v square. Then this is equal plus potential energy per unit volume is rho g h. So this total energy in a incompressible flowing fluid remains at every point remains constant. That is Bernoulli's principle. So how to understand that concept means, so in this pipe, if fluid is flowing, okay, so definitely any point you consider, so at this point the sum of energy is 30 units you got, means at every point you got the sum of the total energy as 30 units. That means the total energy remains constant at every point in a flowing fluid. Here why? Because at every point we got same value, means same area of cross section. Same area of cross section means definitely the velocity does not change. Velocity does not change and kinetic energy per unit volume remains constant. This pipe is at same horizontal level. So from the ground this pipe is at same height, hence at every point potential energy is also constant. So pressure energy is also constant at every point. Then like that the total energy remains constant. See one more example. In this example the fluid is flowing in this direction, okay, but the area of cross section is same. Area of cross section is same means velocity remains same. Velocity depends upon area. If area throughout the pipe is same, means velocity remains same. You cannot, that means you will think that so it is moving at some height, so velocity will decrease. Not like that. We are maintaining the flow and area is same throughout the pipe, so at every point the velocity remains same. So in this expression velocity remains the same means the kinetic energy remains constant. But suppose let us consider at this point the pressure energy comes to be 20 units, okay, the kinetic energy comes to be 30 units and the potential energy, so this is at some height from the reference level, that height is h, let us say. So because of the height potential energy, for example take it is comes to be 10 units, okay. Overall what is the total energy at this point? The total energy becomes 60 units. So at this point if you want to find the total that means the energies, so here the kinetic energy remains the same. So here the kinetic energy per unit volume is 30. This point also the kinetic energy per unit volume remains 30. Why? Because the velocity is not changing, hence kinetic energy is same at this point. But if you see this height is h1 and this height is h2, isn't it? So h2 is more than h1, hence at this point potential energy is more and at this point potential energy is less. That means here at this point if you consider potential energy you got 10, no, you may get at this point potential energy 15. Potential energy 15, overall how much it becomes? 45. So at this point the total energy is 60, right? 60 unit. Here we got the kinetic energy 30 units and potential energy is 15 units, 14 point. Then if you calculate the pressure energy per unit volume, you will get that pressure energy 15. That means kinetic energy constant if potential energy increases. Kinetic energy constant if potential energy increases. What you are seeing? The pressure energy per unit volume will decreases. That will balance us. But total energy, if you say Here also 60 unit, here also 60 units. So total energy at every point remains the same, but if potential energy increases means if velocity is constant, definitely pressure energy will decreases, or if pressure energy increases means if kinetic energy is constant, definitely the potential energy will decreases. So one more example you see here. In this example, uniform area of cross section, that means fluid flow, let us consider in this direction. In this direction the fluid is flowing. Area is same, hence velocity at this point, at every point the velocity will remain same. Okay, but what happens? This end is at some height, right? Again kinetic energy is constant. That means here potential energy is more. Here potential energy is less. Okay, so here potential energy is more means comparing to this point, definitely here pressure energy is less, here pressure energy will more. Okay, but fluid will move with same velocity at every point. Don't think that water is flowing downwards, hence the velocity will increases. Here not only two energies are acting, you have to consider kinetic energy, potential energy and pressure energy. So in this way you can understand the Bernoulli's principle. Okay, total energy remains constant at every points. And next, first I will explain the application of Bernoulli's principle, that is speed of efflux. Okay. Speed of efflux. So here let us consider a tank. Okay, this is a tank. It consists of fluid. Okay, this is the fluid, and let us say the height of this fluid or the height of this tank, that is h. It is open to atmosphere, that means the top surface is open. That means definitely you can consider at this surface the atmospheric pressure will act. So in this tank, or somewhere you make a small opening. Okay, like you connect a tap, that area is very very small, isn't it? So you consider this area, let us take it as A1, and here you are connecting some tap for that area of cross section, let us take that as A2, and definitely A1 is very very greater than A2. So here what is the meaning of speed of efflux? So from this opening the liquid will come out. Okay, in this way the liquid will come out. The speed of the mass or the speed of the liquid coming out from this opening, that is nothing but speed of efflux. So here to find that velocity, the velocity of a liquid coming out through this area, that velocity let us take it as V2. We have to find that velocity, we have to find the speed of efflux. And here for that I will apply Bernoulli's equation. I said that this area is A1 and here the area is A2. Okay, and let us say this height is h, so this whole, okay, this small hole is at a height x from this level, from the bottom, and from this top, let us consider that hole height is a small h. And remember that if the hole is very small, then this liquid level will decreases, no? Okay, that velocity is almost zero. Here the liquid will come out. As the liquid will come out from this small hole, definitely the level of the liquid will decreases with some velocity. That velocity is very small. We will negligible that velocity. We will consider the velocity v1 is almost zero. Okay, then the surface velocity is 0, v1 is 0, area is a1, at the top surface the pressure acting is atmospheric pressure, and this hole, the liquid is coming out, right, this is also exposed to atmosphere, hence here also the pressure acting is atmospheric pressure Pa. And if you want to draw the lines of flow, so the streamline flow, if you want to draw means you can able to see the liquid is moving like this. Okay. As the liquid is coming down, the area of cross section will decreases. The area of cross section will decreases means definitely the velocity also changes. At some final velocity, this liquid will come out from this hole or small opening, and we have to find that speed of liquid coming out from this opening, that is nothing but speed of efflux. So here I will apply the Bernoulli's equation at 2 points. So this point top surface I will consider it as 1, and the liquid is coming out from the small hole, right, that I will consider it as 2. So at first point we know that the Bernoulli's equation, pressure energy per unit volume P, what is the pressure acting on the top surface means that is atmospheric pressure Pa, plus kinetic energy, its velocity almost 0, right, we are considering 0, hence half rho v1 square, that becomes 0, plus rho g, what is the height of this top surface from this bottom, the height of the top surface from the bottom is small h plus x. So this height is small h and this height is h, the total height becomes h plus x. So this is pressure energy, kinetic energy 0, why, because its velocity is 0, and this is potential energy, that is rho g h plus x, that is for top surface. This should be equal to, at this point and this point the total energy remains same, so that application, that one I am writing here. So at this point what is the pressure energy, that is the atmospheric pressure Pa, this is also exposed to atmosphere, plus, and what is the kinetic energy, the liquid is coming from this hole, that velocity we have considered as v2, hence I am writing here half rho v2 square, plus what is the potential energy, this is at a height x, rho g x, and both sides the atmospheric pressure will get cancelled, and here rho g h plus rho g x is equals to half rho v2 square plus rho g x, both side rho g x will get cancelled, and v2 square and rho also here it will get cancelled, and v2 square is equals to, you will get 2gh, right. So v2 is equals to root over 2gh. This is the final expression when the top of the surface is open and atmospheric pressure is acting on it. Remember this formula. And also we have studied in a motion in a straight line, motion in one dimension, that is if any object is dropped from certain height h, okay, this height is h, suppose an object is dropped from this height, then with what velocity it will strikes to the ground. So what you will do, you will apply equations of motion, that is v square minus u square is equals to 2as, this is nothing but freely falling object or freely falling body. Okay, in freely falling case, its initial velocity dropping means its initial velocity is 0. So it will strike the ground with some velocity. That velocity is final velocity. So v square minus u square is equals to 2as. So v square minus 0 is equals to 2g s displacement. That displacement is nothing but height, and a is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. This is the acceleration. Then v square is equals to 2gh means v is equals to root over 2gh. So this is also, that means this is also called as Torricelli theorem. Okay. So according to Torricelli theorem, the speed of a flux is equal to velocity of freely falling body. If you drop an object that will strikes the ground with the velocity root over 2gh, here also the liquid will come out from this small opening. That velocity is also root over 2gh. So you can write a statement like this: the speed of liquid or the speed of outcome of the liquid, the speed of a flux or speed of outcome of the liquid is equal to velocity of freely falling body. That is called as Torricelli theorem. So remember this concept, and in this concept some special cases I will explain. That is, the liquid will come out from this opening, right? Then it will strikes the ground. So that velocity we came to know that root over 2gh. With that velocity it will strikes. So it will cover some horizontal distance. Okay, that is nothing but range. And to reach the ground, it will take some time. First we will calculate how much time it need to reach this point. That is, we will apply s equals ut plus half at square, this equation. Here s is nothing but this distance d. So initial velocity in this is nothing but it is making a projectile motion, and its initial velocity you can consider it as 0. That is, d is equals to, we can write that half g t square. Okay. Sorry, here s equals ut plus half at square. Here initial velocity is 0. You can write that in the place of s, you can write it as x. Okay, from x height we are projecting an object. So x equals half gt square. Then here you can get that t square is equals to 2x divided by g, or t is equals to root over 2h by g. Okay, so this much time it needs to reach the ground. Velocity is root over 2gh. Okay, and the time is, that is root over 2x divided by g. So remember this concept. And also in this diagram, so v is equals to root over 2gh. with this velocity it will strikes v is equals to root over 2g, the value of h, see the diagram, you can definitely write that the value of h is nothing but capital H minus x, and this distance d, that is nothing but horizontal range also you can say. The distance d we can write it as velocity into time. Velocity is equals to, that means velocity is equal to displacement by time, or d we can write it as v into t. So d is equals to the value of v. The value of v is root over 2g h minus x into time. How much time it will needed? The time needed is root over 2x divided by g. Then the distance d, if you want to find the d distance, then here you will get that here g and g will get, if you take whole root, g and g will get cancel. Root 2 into root 2, that you can write it as 2. Inside the bracket you can write it as h minus x into x. Okay, this is the expression. This is the expression to find this distance. Then suppose if you consider a tank, if you make a hole at different height, the distance will become different. So we need to find, suppose if you make a hole at some point, the distance should be maximum. I hope you understood this concept. That means if you make a hole at different point, definitely the liquid will come out, right? But at all the times the distance will not remain the same. The height differs, the distance also differs. The question is where we should make a small opening so that the liquid has to cover maximum distance. For that, the distance expression we got as d is equals to 2 into root over h minus x into x. And this is a somewhat new concept to you. After completion of differentiation in mathematics, these steps, especially next what I am explaining, that step you will understand. Okay. So, but I have to explain right now only. Once again you watch the video, first time you will not understand what I am doing here. The next time after differentiation in mathematics, definitely you will understand this concept, especially this concept. Okay, that is what we have to do, means to find the maximum distance. So we have to differentiate. Differentiate means we will write d by dx. That means this d value has to be more. That's what we are calculating. If this d value has to be more, means definitely this h minus x into x value should be more. Then the differentiation d by dx of h minus x into x value we have to find out. So this value, how much you will get, means I will multiply, that means d by dx of this value should be equal to 0, like that we have to equate for the maximum. This should be equal to 0. Then d by dx hx minus x square should be equal to 0. For always maximum condition, we will equate it to 0 in differentiation. And now if you differentiate, you will get here h minus 2x should be equal to 0. The differentiation of h into x, here x is variable. So in the diagram you can change the position of the x. X is variable. The differentiation of x you will get 1. The differentiation of h as it is. And here the differentiation of x square will become 2x. Then the answer you will get h is equals to 2x or x is equals to h by 2. Just you remember this concept. Whatever steps I explained here, this step right now you will not understand. Okay, but final concept, remember that if we make the height from the bottom or the top h by 2, this liquid will come out, no, it will cover more distance. Okay, that those concepts will ask especially in competitive exam. What I have explained, the time t is equals to root over 2x by g, and here this distance formula, and here x is equals to h by 2. These concepts especially for competitive exam. In PUC they may ask state and prove Torricelli theorem. That statement you have to write, and you have to draw the diagram, you have to write the expression. I hope you understand this concept, that is Torricelli theorem. And next one is, the next concept is Venturimeter. Venturimeter. So here let us consider a pipe having non-uniform area of cross section. Okay, this is the pipe having non-uniform area of cross section. So in this pipe the fluid is flowing in this direction. This is the direction of flow of fluid. Okay, you can represent it with streamline also. So Venturimeter means it is a device which measures the speed of incompressible fluid. Okay, so how it will measures means, let us consider this diagram. Okay, in this diagram the fluid is flowing from one end to other end. That flow of fluid we are representing with these stream lines. Okay, then in this tube let us consider a manometer. Okay, a U tube. Already you have studied that manometer, right? So this U-shaped tube is connected. So better I will connect that U-shaped tube here. A manometer is connected. Then in this manometer, definitely you know that if definitely in this manometer there is initially mercury level at both ends. The height of the mercury level will same. As one side the water will flows into the U tube means definitely one side of the mercury level will decreases and the mercury level will increases. Okay, so this is what you may see in this U tube. That means here at some point, that means the wide end is there, right? In this end the velocity of the fluid entering, let us consider as V1. The area of cross section is A1. So here the height is more. The height is more means definitely at this point the pressure is also more. That pressure let us consider it as P1. So, and at this point you consider, at this point area of cross section is A2. So area of cross section changes means definitely the velocity also changes. The velocity becomes V2. So the height is less. Height is less means definitely the pressure is also less. That pressure, let us consider it as P2. Hence this side more pressure, here this mercury level will decreases, and here the pressure is less, hence one side the mercury level decreases and here the mercury level will increases. And this difference in levels of mercury, the difference in levels of mercury, that height, let us consider it as h. Okay. So now we have to find the velocity of the fluid. We can find the velocity here also, v2 velocity, or the velocity at this point also, v1 velocity. For that again I will apply Bernoulli's equation at 2 points. At this point also, I will apply Bernoulli's equation. At this point also I will apply Bernoulli's equation. So you also learn how to write the Bernoulli's equation. That means at this point, what is the pressure? Pressure is P1. So plus, it is moving with the velocity V1 of rho V1 square. This is kinetic energy per unit volume. Plus both this total tube, this total pipe from the ground is at same height. Okay, height of the tube from the ground h1 is equals to h2 is same. Hence I am not writing that equation. If I write also rho gh, that side also rho gh, that will get cancelled. So P1 plus half rho V1 square. This should be equals to, at this point the pressure is P2 and the kinetic energy becomes half rho V2 square. And also you know that equation of continuity, that is A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. And also you know that flow rate, volume flow rate at every cross section will remain the same. That is, I will write here, according to equation of continuity, A1 V1, the volume flow rate should be same across every cross section, means here also should be same. That is called equation of continuity. A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. So from here the value of V2 becomes A1 by A2 into V1. Remember the value of V2, A1 by A2 into V1. So here I can write P1 minus P2 is equals to half rho, if I take common outside, V2 square minus V1 square. Here I will write, that is P1 minus P2 is equals to half rho V2 square you can write A1 by A2, A1 square by A2 square into V1 square minus V1 square. So you can write P1 minus P2. P1 minus P2 is equals to half rho V1 square, you can take common outside, inside the bracket you will get A1 square by A2 square minus 1, isn't it? Then P1 minus P2 means what? P1 minus P2 is nothing but pressure difference. So pressure difference means you know the concept. At horizontal level in uniform liquid, at all the points the pressure is same. So if you consider, this is from here the mercury level will start, right? Here also mercury, consider one point here, let us give name as A. At this point consider B. So both are mercury, horizontal level, pressure at A should be equals to pressure at B. Then what is pressure at A? At this point the pressure is P1, this is equals to pressure at B. The pressure at B at this point, the pressure is P2 plus this side, from this point to this point, what is the pressure variation? Density of mercury, not water or other liquid here, this is mercury, density of mercury into GH. So what is the value of P1 minus P2? P1 minus P2 is equals to rho m GH. This rho, what we have written, that is what the liquid is flowing in the pipe, that density is rho. What we have used here, mercury, that density is rho m. So if I substitute here, rho m gh is equals to half rho v1 square into a1 square by a2 square minus 1. Then you can able to find the value of v1 square. Then v1 square becomes 2 rho m gh, 2 rho m gh divided by rho divided by a1 by a2 whole square, also you can write minus 1, or you can take this, that means you can apply square root on both sides, you can write like this also. This is the final expression. This is the velocity at this point. The fluid is entering from one side, right? That is the velocity. So like this we will measure the flow of velocity of fluid when an incompressible fluid is flowing through a pipe. I hope you understood these concepts, that is Torricelli theorem and Venturi meter. Torricelli theorem finds the speed of a flux, and here in a pipe the fluid is flowing means at any point you can able to calculate the velocity of fluid. Thank you.